The computer is okay. So, hello everyone. You are welcome to week 2 of our research training program. We have a quick research activity today, and it's centered on how to begin writing your paper, especially your introduction and literature review section using OpenAI. So the goal of this section is just to train you on how to begin structuring your introduction and literature review. Both you have a research topic and you don't know where to begin, OpenAI can help you begin. And that is what I want to expose you to now. So the first thing to do is to understand the paper structure. There's a pre-work that you need to do. That was why we gave a week notice. We left you for a week. We expected that you will have studied about the topic, known some things about the topic, probably get the data you want to use for that topic, and before you start writing. Now, you must be able to review at least 2 or 3 high-quality related research papers to your topic. And that was why I shared some book chapters, some papers on the platform. Now, you will identify the components of their introduction. Check the paper you are reviewing, that you are reading. Just pick a paper, download a research paper that is related to your topic. Check the introduction and the literature review section of that paper. Sometimes the introduction and literature review are together in introduction section. Check how they cited the papers, how they reviewed past works. Then you will get to know how you can also write your own. Then you take note of common patterns. In time you read the first paper, you read the second one, you read the third one, you see there are common patterns and argument structures and how they formulate their research gaps. Now they establish the research gap. Then you know, oh, I can also do likewise. Now, having done that, you must have jotted down some things. The next thing to do is to begin to use OpenAI to structure your own paper, your own research article. Now, we have several OpenAI tools like ChatGPT or DeepSeek. We are going to limit to these 2. These tools can help you generate a well-structured paper draft. And without wasting time, you can start writing your paper. You can follow these steps. The first thing is to identify the areas you want to cover in your introduction, for instance. Maybe the problem statement, the significance, the objectives, and all that. Then you use prompt engineering, you use OpenAI to prompt them out, and then you get a draft. Then you get a response. Then you refine and edit the AI-generated text for clarity, for coherence, and for academic rigor. It must have human input. You don't just download what the OpenAI gives you and say you have published. No, that's not what we do here. You are going to take what is given to you. We are going to relate it to your specific scenario, and then you are going to edit it, give a human angle to it. Then you are going to give it to us, the mentors or your peers, to also look at it. You give it to your professor. I can also help you check it and edit to make sure that it is really close to reality. Then you ensure, by so doing, you ensure originality by adding your own insights and even citations. Now, the secret is this. There must be 2, in every paragraph, there must be at least 2 citations. Please take it. There must be at least 2 citations. Right. So make sure you take note of that. In every paragraph, include at least 2 relevant citations, because it's not good. That's what separates academic writing from others, because it's called research. What has been searched before, you are researching it. So you must build on what someone has said before to cite them and then add your own at the end. So that's research. So there must be citations. The minimum citations, as a matter of fact, in any paper should be around 40 citations. You can't just cite 5 papers, 6 papers, or 10 papers and say you have published, you have written paper. No, you must cite, you must check Sometimes you just need to read 2 or 3 pages from a paper to get what you want, but you must check those papers. You must check previous papers. Now, this is how to develop effective prompts. You can construct at least 5 prompts for each section. Now, you use this prompt to generate the draft of your paper, especially the introduction and literature review aspects. You can use it for the entire paper anyway. Now, here are examples of simple prompts. That is what we expected you to do for the past 1 week. And this doesn't take time. Here are examples of simple prompts. Please listen to me, follow me. You'll see how it is being done. Simple prompts you can use. Suppose you have a research topic, which I believe you have already. What you can do is to tell ChatGPT or DeepSeek, to say, provide an overview of, maybe your topic is explainable AI for malaria prediction. You put your topic here in this square bracket and explain its significance in probably predictive modeling or whichever field. Now, you can now say, discuss key challenges in malaria modeling and their impacts on the field. Then you can say, summarize major studies on these related to this research topic. Put the topic there inside ChatGPT or DeepSeek and say, highlight an existing research gap. Then you can also come up with another prompt that says, frame a research question, an hypothesis, or you can include objective, research question, hypothesis, and objective based on the identified gap. And you say, describe this, how this research contributes to advancing knowledge in probably health data science or predictive modeling. This is an example of a prompt that you can use for your research to begin your introduction. By the time you do all these, something will be generated. You have started, rather than just holding on to the topic without knowing what to write. OpenAI has come to help researchers to write, publish well, but you must put your own human angle. We're going to show you how, but this is just to help you to start, to begin something. Otherwise, you can even say, give me a suitable introduction on this topic. Include a research question, hypothesis, objective, significance on the study, and identify a suitable gap. You can even use only 1 sentence to provide everything. Yes, it's possible. And then something will come up. And then you begin to build from them, right? You begin to build from them. Now, let's see for the literature review. This here are sample prompts. You can start by saying, suppose I have a topic, a research topic titled so. Summarize the most recent studies related to this research topic and include their key findings and limitations. It will bring it out. It will bring it out. Then you can also go ahead and say, analyze different theoretical frameworks that can be used to study this topic, your topic. Then you can say, compare and contrast methodologies that have been used in existing research on this topic. Right. Then you can also say, identify key debates in the literature, their relevance to this study. Or you can say, critically evaluate major gaps and explain how the study will address them. And you can do all these together, and then you tell it to present all this in a coherent manner. Present the above prompts in a coherent manner. Right. Now, in a coherent. Now, you might want to you might want to get real literature, like real research work that have been done. You can then say, highlight 20 related research papers on this topic. You can say provide the links to the papers. It will push it out. It will bring it out. It will bring it out. And you will see that you can download those papers and begin to read, begin to jot by yourself, begin to summarize by yourself. Then you now bring it back into your paper, into your work. Right. So this is how you can prompt to get research paper. Now, if it gives you papers that are very old, you can say, give me 10 additional articles ranging from 2020. We want to cite most journals, they want to see recent work, 2020 to 2025, the last 5 years. Then it will bring them out. You will see. It will bring them out. And then you download them and begin to jot. You read them, then you use your own words to write it down. By that, you use your own word. You write it down, what you have jotted, what you got from the research in your own words. It doesn't matter whether you know how to write well or not. Then whatever you have written, you will now copy it again, put it back into the OpenAI tool and say, please rewrite this in a professional article manner, in a professional way for writing an article. It will give you. It's your own work, but it's just assisting you using large language model to rewrite your grammar. That's not a bad thing to do. But the bad thing to do is that you are not doing anything at all. Prompt it, tell it to give you something. Download some paper, tell it to give you the recent papers in this area. And then you jot down, you download them, jot down the main points. Look at the introduction, what did they study? Look at the methodology, they use this methodology. Look at the conclusion, they concluded this way. But here, I'm using this other methodology. That's what I want to do, right? Look at all these papers, 10, 20 papers. You can do this even in 2 hours. If you are serious about it, then you jot it down, then you write it in the way you know how to write it. Write a good essay, write something, or type it out in the way you know how to type the summaries you have gotten. And then you copy all you have written back into the OpenAI to DeepSeek or ChatGPT and tell it to rewrite it better for you. That's it. Before you know it, your paper is ready. Your introduction and literature review section is ready. Right. And then you can now go ahead to other sections. So you see, it's very straightforward. It's something you can do. So you can use OpenAI to draft your sections, to generate initial drafts using customized prompt like I've shown you. You can use it to organize and even refine your language, your content, to have a logical flow. You can say, rewrite all these things I've summarized to ensure logical flow and coherence. It will give it to you. And then you'll see that your introduction, these are things we look out for. I've taught you in the last class. You must have a good background. You must have what's the importance of your research. Why should they read your paper? The gap should be there, and the objective. These are things any reader, any editor want to see in your paper. Ensure that it's there. If it's not there, put it there and rewrite it in a better form. Then in your literature, make sure that it critically analyzes previous studies and it positions your research within the academic discourse, something that is worth reading. I've shown you examples. I've sent papers to you, personal papers to you. Why should you read my paper? And we're going to examine more today. Right. So after doing that, maybe you have a collaborator, a co-author that you have been assigned to. We can assign that today. You can now show the person, show someone in your group or a mentor or me, to provide constructive feedback using the following checklist. So this is what we are going to look for while we are reviewing it. I expected to have seen some of your works. We're going to see whether it is clear or whether it is engaging enough or well-structured, whether it's or your literature critically analyze the sources and then research, it highlights research gaps. Then we're going to look at what are your research questions. What are your research questions? It will be embedded in your paragraphs. Right. Then what are the objectives? You can write in such a way that you can say this research work aims to answer the question of whether explainable AI is suitable for detecting the most relevant symptoms of obesity. Right, this is just an example. Right, we're going to look, is your writing coherent? Is it properly referenced? I told you it must be properly referenced. Don't forget, at least 2 citations in a paragraph, at least 2 citations in a paragraph. I'm going to show you an example of one work we just finished with one of you who is also one of the participants in this group. I'm going to show you. Now, you now reverse your draft based on the feedback received. Then we'll move on to the other side. Right. After you might have submitted that aspect, then we'll move on to methodology and data analysis. That's when we begin to bring in the data, bring in the methodology, machine learning aspect, data science aspect, different models, and all that. That's for another time. We can treat that tomorrow. Now, this is what I expect you to do. Please start working, do something, and by tomorrow, I hope you can at least start something. You will show me what you have done, at least by via overleaf by tomorrow. By the time you do it, you can even prompt it. You can say, give me the results in BibTeX format, in overleaf format, in LaTeX format. It will do it for you. And then you share with us, then we help you to look at it and give constructive feedback. It's better to start doing something than just waiting. Start. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Start something today and you will never regret it. I hope these few lines will have helped you to motivate you to start doing something. Thank you for listening. Questions? I'm going to take questions now, and then we're going to look at some examples.
Yeah, so permit me to share my screen. So Prof has given us a theoretical approach to using AI for research and all. So I just want to give a practical session on that. So this is my overview here, and the topic I've selected for that you do see it right away. Um, um, Also, let me type in the topic in here. So that's wavelet-based feature extraction for functional data in air pollution analysis and machine learning integration. So I I'm going to recompile this. So once I recompile this, you can see it comes out in a very neat way now. So then I start off with dips. I think I should create a new chart. So I would want to start with, the introduction of the research paper. And for starting with the introduction of the research paper, like Prof has mentioned, you want to follow the key steps and all. So you come in with your topic. Yeah, this is my topic. Uh, so then you put in your prompt. So introduction for this research topic above. So then click enter. So once you've done that, it actually brings up a introduction template that you still later edit. Like that's later on. So once it has actually bring this, your copy, you go to your overleaf session, your overleaf template. You see, I'm going to share this template with you. So you see a new page section introduction. So in the introduction section, you come type in a new paragraph. So once you get in a new paragraph, so you paste that in here. So once you paste that in there, you recompile again. So when you recompile, you have an entire section, an entire introduction section. So then you can further edit this particular template to your wish. So also you would want citations for your introduction section. And for you to get citation for your introduction section, Overleaf uses a bib text format for for the citations and references for the introduction section. And if you want to get that done, you can see my screen. So you come to new file. Once you come to new file, you open what we call a ref.bib file. What a ref.bib file does is a ref.bib file allows you to input your citations and references in a bibtext format, and that's the format Overleaf accepts. So then you get back to your Overleaf. So since you want citations and references for this particular section, so you just type in and you provide 20 20 references in bibtext format. Since Prof said earlier that the references must be recent, so between the years of, let's use 2020 to 2025, and not exceed um it must not exceed 2025, obviously, or I mean precede 2020. So it's actually going to provide references in deep text format. Actually, you should be careful about the references like Prof once mentioned, because most of the references might be hallucinations. So, and another way to know if the references are not hallucinations is you can write the prompts again and just tell it that you need the references without the bibtext format. First of all, I think I should do that. References in, yeah, I'll just put it in normal APA format between the years of 2020 and 2025, and will not exceed 2025 or exceed 2020, but also provide the links to the references. So what this does is it's actually going to provide the links to these references. So, okay, unfortunately, it said it cannot provide real references. So since it can't provide real references to most of the stuff, then you do have to check that on your own. And the way you do check that is you go to Google Scholar, you post each of these references in Google Scholar or online and check if the links are actually real.